Hi, friends. Okay, don't do this ever. Um, but because I've talked to many of you, my beloved friends, on walks and phone calls, and I've talked about this particular lesson I do with my high school students, I decided to make a little video. Many of you know that in addition to running an education nonprofit with aerospace and being an artist, I thought this little barn painting was a good background. I also teach life skills to high school students. And one of the curriculum I've developed is on intimacies, boundaries, and tribe. And first of all, let me say I'm not trying to do any cultural appropriation with the word tribe. I'm using the word tribe kind of in reference to Dave Logan and his philosophies and studies on tribal leadership, where it's a group of 1 to 30 people. In this curriculum, it's really a tribe of people that you can be vulnerable with. And this lesson is on intimacy and our circles of intimacy. I'd like to give much of the credit to Dave Logan and all of his research and talks on tribal leadership, as well as my beloved mentor, Victoria Hendrix. Thank you. Because of you, I am better people. So, because I'm not generally a blogger of any nature or a video blogger, I could probably make this very fancy, but I'm going to just be a teacher in this moment and focus on content and take off my dog's very loud collar. Huh. And I'm going to use the whiteboard. I'm sure if I do this more, I can add all sorts of fancy graphics, but right now I'm just interested in the content that I want to share with you. So I'm going to share my whiteboard and I'm going to talk to you really in brief synopsis. This is a more in-depth curriculum with my students, but it is one way to teach these, brilliant young kids how to think about intimacy, vulnerability, and also how to have boundaries. So long ago in my early 20s, back in the dark ages, I had a lot of friends and I kept noticing this one particular thing where I would hang out with my many, many friends. And quite often I would come home not feeling better after hanging out with them, but worse. And it began to make me wonder, what is it I really value in a friend to have and to hold for a long journey together in trust and compassion? So the first thing I do, and I find that I do this process about every 10 years, I really evaluate my relationships and then rebuild my circles, which we'll get into in a minute. The first thing I feel like is really important is to create a list of what we value in friendships. And so I would say respect, loving, trust. Humor is great, but you don't have to be really funny to be my friend, even though it is kind of lovely. Honesty. I would say loyalty is important to me. One of the most important things I found, as I just talked about, is, do I feel better afterwards than before hanging out? And do I feel that there is everyone's going to see how bad I am at spelling. Reciprocity. That could be wrong. No apologies there. And then what I go on to do is think about circles of intimacy. So when we're looking at our circle, I'm going to draw with my finger. It's a magic tool, so it will probably be messy, but you'll get the point. If you're looking at your circles of intimacy sideways, it's going to look like this lovely candy corn. But if you're looking at it in an aerial view, it's going to be all these donuts. And then I begin defining who is my tribe. let me say right away that tribe is the first two circles. And we're going to go ahead and define what each of these circles has. So in this very first circle, I call this my family circle. Now, in my family, it's a small circle. This does not necessarily include blood relations, not necessarily blood family. Let me be very clear. This also includes non-blood family. I have my daughter, that's definitely blood. I have my partner, and then I have a group of friends that I would call my family. So what is our family? Our family consists of, you can snot nose, ugly cry, you can snort laugh, you can share your deepest, darkest secrets and not feel shamed. You can feel like you are heard. You feel like you can take criticism because you trust them. You can call them at 3 a.m. when you're in a bind, and if they can, they will come. That is the family circle. Now, moving on to the next circle, I like to call this circle my exhale circle. Oh, my finger, my goodness. Now, generally, when we move outwards in these circles, you're going to have a few more dots. So the exhale circle is also considered part of the tribe. You too can call them at 3 a.m. if your family circle is not available. They will come get you. You also can snot nose ugly cry. You can snort laugh. You can be vulnerable. You can trust them. They can trust you. There's reciprocity. They are very close to the family circle. However, there are some really intimate secrets and feelings that you might not share with your exhale circle. So I've got a few more in here, but not a lot more. This is your tribe, the first two circles. As we move outward, this third circle is the good friends, maybe even great friends. Oh, look at my spelling. Now, again, we're going to have more dots than in our tribe circles. You will laugh with them. You will go out to happy hour with them, go see movies with them, have them over for dinner, love them greatly, have a wonderful time, probably share some secrets, some intimacy, some deep, dark down feelings. However, if your family circle and your exhale circle cannot come get you at 3 a.m. versus calling your good friends, you're probably going to call a Lyft or an Uber or get a taxi or walk, depending on the evening. So they're still really important in your life. They're just not quite as intimate and close and vulnerable as your exhale circle and your family circle. Now, as we get out to this other circle, we're going to go into mutual friends and acquaintances. I'm just going to put a little abbreviation like that. There are lots of dots in here. These are friends that you'll see maybe twice a year at a party, or friends you do events with because they are friends with someone in your exhale family tribe, or good friends. You really enjoy them on a small basis, seeing them every few months or getting together with them with other groups of friends. Wonderful. But again, you're not going to call them at 3 a.m. You're probably not going to snot nose ugly cry. You're not going to share your deep, dark secrets unless it's been that kind of evening. These are friends that you just meet through circumstance. Now, when I reevaluate what tribe means to me and my circles of intimacy, I do what my students love me to call the purge. Yay, purge. So I review my list of what I value in friendship because over time, humans grow and change. I grow and change. Relations don't generally stay the same over 30 and 40 and 20 and 5 and 10 years. Things change. So as I rewrite my list of what I value, I find there's movement in my circles of intimacy. And that can look like this. Perhaps someone in your exhale circle goes in to your family circle. Every once in a while, someone in your family circle goes in to the exhale circle, though I've found that over time that's seldom. You might pull someone from your exhale circle into your good friend circle, or you might pull a couple good friend circles into your exhale circle. I often find that the good friend circles, as life changes and circumstance changes, for some reason, I think this is a general trend. When you get older, you get really strong tribal circles and less mass amount of friends. I personally feel like I have lots and lots of good friends, and I'm very, very grateful and thankful, and it's taken hard work to have that. But what I find is there's a lot more movement in the third and fourth circle of good friends and acquaintances, backwards and forwards. So that is what I like to call the purge. It's the reevaluating and redefining of what these intimate circles are. Now, I hope you enjoyed this quick little lesson, and you can like it or hate it, take it to heart or leave it. But this is my way of sharing with you, and hopefully it can be a successful and useful tool for you as you move forward in your intimacy and relations and your boundaries. And having your own tribe defined will help you set those boundaries and have a healthier life that lets you love yourself better and more actively, which in turn, here's the beautiful part, helps you love others better and more accurately and more actively. It helps serve everyone when you know who you are, what you value, where you stand, and how you can love best. There you go. Cheers.